with Sting and Christian Cage. Meanwhile, Sting just throwing his jacket at Jeff Jarrett and not wasting any time going over Jarrett and Steiner. And all kinds of chaos to get this match started. What I was gonna say is Christian Cage getting screwed out of the NWA Heavyweight Championship back at Slammiversary. Meanwhile, Sting taking Steiner's chainmail, putting on his head, mocking Big Papa Pump. Sting and Christian Cage are going to see each other real soon when it comes to determining a number one contender for the NWA Heavyweight Championship that shouldn't even belong in the hands of Jeff Jarrett. However, nonetheless, it does. And tonight isn't about that. Tonight is about Sting and Christian Cage working together to take down Scott Steiner and the current NWA Heavyweight Champion, Jeff Jarrett. Right off the bat, now that the match is officially in the ring, referee Rudy Charles calling the match. Tag's been made to Cage. And a back elbow takes down Steiner. Goes for a cover, but Big Papa Pump does not stay down easy. Cheap shot to the eyes. And that meaty arm of Papa Pump. Big Papa Pump just clubbing Christian Cage in the back. And now the world champion is in the ring. The quote-unquote king of the mountain, Jeff Jarrett. And sunset flip rolls through. Jarrett able to kick out. Now it's the former champion, Christian Cage, and the current champion. The former champion caught the current champion with a seated powerbomb. However, Jarrett managed to kick out. And Christian Cage hammering away at Jeff Jarrett. Scott Steiner trying to get involved. Oh! Oh my God! That was a brutal crash landing off the top to the floor. And we are back. The impact zone. Just before we went to commercial break, Jeff Jarrett tossing Christian Cage off the top turnbuckle to the outside onto the floor. Just like that, Jarrett has maintained control throughout commercial break. Picking up the pace once more with a shot to the face. And the fresh tag made to the fresh man. Big Papa Pump back into the fray. And that Big Papa Pump elbow. Come on. There's no need for that, those push-ups. Come on now. I'm telling you, Scott Steiner certainly looks at himself and kisses the mirror. If Scott Steiner could marry himself, I'm almost certain he would. And now caught in a sleeper. Broken free. Now it's Cage with a sleeper. Quickly reversed by Jeff Jarrett. With Jarrett and Cage both down. Steiner tagged in. Christian Cage couldn't move fast enough. Steiner telling Sting to bring it. Sting wants in this thing. Sting has been patiently waiting to get in this match. However, keeping the fresh tags between Steiner and Jarrett, it's done wonders in isolating Christian Cage away from being able to make the tag to Sting. But finally, Christian Cage may have just found the opening he's looking for. Can he get there? Sting trying to rally the former NWA heavyweight champion. And there he is. Here comes the icon. Sting, he's fresh and he is ready to go. Sting bringing the fight to Steiner. Stinger splash to Jarrett. Steiner just collapsing. Driving Steiner into Jarrett. And a sandwich. Steiner gets laid out. Jarrett gets laid out. And now it's time for a Scorpion Deathlock. And an inverted atomic drop for Steiner. And Sting sends Steiner up and over to the outside onto the floor. Oh, you cheap. Ugh. And a stroke. But it's Christian Cage to pull the referee out to save the match. Brilliant. The same way you screwed Christian Cage out of the title. Now you get screwed. And now Scott Steiner gets sent into the post. Jarrett with a cheap thumb to the eye of Christian Cage. Now these two just battling it out up at the apron. Up at the top turnbuckle, should I say. Gets pushed down. Scorpion. Death drop. And a frog splash off the top by Cage. And it's all over. They got it. They got it. Christian Cage and Sting victorious. Great teamwork shown on display. What a comeback for Sting and Cage. We already knew that Jeff Jarrett and Scott Steiner were going to work well together. Christian Cage and Sting proved they can do just the same, and they did it better, coming out on top and pulling out the victory. But wait, that's Steiner, and he's got the titles. He clocks it over the skull of Cage, and now the back of the head of Sting. Steiner wants to show that he is ready to be champion. As they say, the largest arms and the shortest fuse. Looking for the Steiner recliner on Christian Cage, looking to send a message. Look at the way that he's pulling back on Christian Cage. Here comes Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe, he's seen enough of Scott Steiner. Samoa Joe. The unbeaten, undefeated submission machine. And there's all kinds of chaos ensuing all over the Impact Zone. Sting and Jarrett going through the crowd. Joe and Steiner up with the entrance. And back to Sting and Jarrett. This has become an all-out brawl. We're going to need a lot more security than that. And ironically, look who's all alone in the ring. Christian Cage, the former NWA champion, holding on to that NWA Heavyweight Championship. Sting saying, I will remove you from the Impact Zone. I will remove you from TNA for good.